All right, what's up and good morning? How y'all doing? This is Al. What's going on? Poker with Alex is the channel, and this is where we play 1-2 low stakes poker, and we play it the right way for the most part, and we play it as a side hustle. We don't look at it as going in and trying to take over the house. It's actually saying take 300, buy in, get on the table, and try to run it up, double it up. And like I said, advice of a pro competitive player that I watched in the earlier years when I was learning this, he always said, if you buy in for low stakes, once you double it up, don't hesitate to get off the table. Enjoy the win. Enjoy the win. It's a grind. It's not going to get you them hundreds of $1,000s overnight, right? If you buy it in for 300, it's going to be a slow grind. Your earnings are going to be low. Live with it and keep it moving. If you are lucky to have card houses, poker rooms in your area, your city, where you know you can get to it every day, then that's a good thing. Always remember, I try to look at it like this, that there is always tomorrow, and I can always get to the game the next day. Whether I win or lose, I can always go back the next day. Like I said before, there's no hotel expenses. I go right back to my house. I don't have to buy any food if I don't decide to. If I want to go back home and cook something, take something out the freezer and have it ready for later on, when I get back, then so be it. I can prepare when I get home. But I don't have to travel like I used to. So now my game is more serious than what it used to be. But now let's move forward, right? Because in this segment right here, this is actually betting with the best hand that there can be in poker. We all know if you're a poker player, the best hand is always pocket aces, right? But what do we do with them? Do we bet them where we can make a good return for our money? Or do we sell it and lose because everybody can sense that you have that type of hand and you lose money? You lose money with pocket aces. You can lose and you can gain. If I have to give a scenario of what I think the best time to have pocket aces, to me, I think it's under the gun. You can give me your opinion of what you feel about it, but if I'm under the gun and I got pocket aces, I have an idea in mind where I will come in low, right? I'm not just gonna call 2, but I'm gonna, because we're talking about a 300, right? Everybody buys in for 300. So what is a bet to me that will make people come in with $300 in front of them, and I have pocket aces, I'm under the gun, and I decide what I'm going to bet? Yesterday, the scenario was this. I had pocket aces, I'm under the gun. I'm thinking about it, and I said, okay, let's do this number. So I made it 7. A reason why I did it is because we had a good table. We had some real players, in my opinion, by definition, what I say, we had some true players on the table, right? There was nobody that I had to worry about saying all in. I didn't have to worry about nobody saying 45. I didn't have to worry about nobody saying 50, unless they had a good hand, right? Then we'll worry about that. So I bet the 7, and I think I had 3 callers, maybe 3 callers. And when the flop came out, it came out ace, king, something, right? So I checked, because if somebody calls 7, I'm hoping that they call a king. I'm hoping they call an ace, right? So if they got ace, king, I flopped the set. There's really no way I can lose, right? Unless they get runner kings, they can get, 4 of a kind over me. But if they don't get that, I know I win, right? The flop was perfect. There was no flush draws. I didn't have to worry about anything except at the end, it turned into a jack hitting the river. I didn't put the person on Queen 10, right? I didn't put them on that because they betted 30 when it was on them on the flop. They came out and they betted 30. I just smooth called it. Turn card comes out and they up it to 50. All right, so then I'm thinking, and I gotta sell it. So I take probably about 15 seconds. I don't want to do it too long, right? And I don't want to do it too fast. I don't want to snap call. So I just gave it like 15, 20 seconds maybe. And then I just made it 100. That's 50 over the top of them. They thought about it for a minute. They could have been trying to sell it to me, that they didn't have a good hand or they had something and they're trying to figure it out. Where am I at? And in relation to where they're at, they call the 50. So now I know we're on to something. I'm thinking maybe it's a set over set. Maybe the person got ace king. River card saved them. River card saved them. It came out as a jack. And when that jack hit the board, that slowed me down. I was first to act, and I said I had to think about it for a minute. And there was an ace king with a jack. So I said, could he have been that loose? Is he pressed for time? Did he come in with the queen 10? All right. We didn't want to chance it, so I just went ahead and checked it. I know somebody's probably saying I still would have fired anyway. And that's fine. You can. Like I said, you have to know your players. You have to know the table structure that you're playing around. There's a lot of things when it comes to this that you really need to pay attention to. So this player that I was playing, he's a solid player, right? So I didn't really put him on queen 10, but I didn't want to chance it either. So I just went ahead and checked. He did the same thing. He checked, and sure enough, he turned over ace king. I turned over aces with an ace on the board, so I had trips. So it was a set over his two pair. So basically, I took that pot down, right? Took that pot down. That wasn't a bad hit with pocket aces. Would I do it again? Would I bet with that same formula if I had aces in that position? I probably wouldn't. If I'm the cutoff and everybody get their bet in, get their money in, right? Depending on how much money is in the action, I probably just smooth call that action, right? Because your aces, they are the best starting hand, but it does not mean that they are going to be the winning hand. Now, I got lucky that I hit that set, right? He could have hit a set of kings, and let's say if I missed the ace, it could have went the other way around where he got the set of kings, right? And I had my aces. Now, if I don't see that, right, he could have had pocket kings and hit one king. I missed my ace. I'm thinking my aces are good. Let's just say he hit a king and everything else was garbage. Let's just say it was a king, 3 deuce that hit the board, right? Now, I got aces. He got the pocket kings. He turns over a set. My aces just got cracked. You get what I'm saying? So that is why you have to not look at the aces as the best hand when it's only a pair, right? You have to understand what to do with them once that board hits. And I think I did good in that situation. Like I said before, though, if I'm in the cutoff, yeah, I'm just going to call because my aces are the most powerful hand. Now, if somebody raises and they make it, whatever they raise, I'm 9 times out of 10, I'm not folding, right? I'm not going to fold. I'm not folding my aces. I'm going to probably go out with them, and hopefully they hold up. A lot of times it doesn't happen, though. I've done that with aces, and I've put in pocket aces, and I think I was in the cutoff. A guy had pocket kings, another person had ace king, and somebody came in with a 4-5. Real true story. When it got around to me, I just said, well, I know I'm not going to fold, so I said all in. The person with pocket kings, snap call. The person with ace king thought about it for a minute, came in. The 4-5, he thought about it, and he said, well, the money's there. Maybe I can steal this. His actual words, maybe he can steal this pot. He goes all in. Flop comes out. Everybody missed. My aces are holding. They're golden. Only thing that was a problem was that board hit in that 4-5 favor. And he said, I need a 7 on the river. I still remember that. And this was sometime last year, but I didn't forget it because that hand right there was well over $1,500 to $1,800. I think it was. I think I put in 600 on my aces, and I went all in. The other person matched, and then we had a side pot, so I know it was up there. And that happened. He said I need a 7. 7 hits the river. 7 hits the river, and his 4-5 scooped the whole pot. So yeah, that can happen with aces. So, you know, again, knowing how and what to do with aces all depends on how you feel about that hand in your place on the table. If everybody's betting before it gets around to you and you got them, depending on how much money they come in with, do you just match it and then wait for the flop? And then that way you can decide then how much power and how much pressure you want to put on your players. You could get quads, you can get a set, right? You can get 4 spades, and you got an ace of spade in your hand. So there's so many things you can do with it that the aces show power. You just have to wait until that flop comes out, and then the flop tells the story. And a lot of people don't read the boards. They can't read boards. They know what they got in their hand, but they don't see that board. So you can take advantage with your aces in so many ways, but you just have to know what to do with it. So I always say, when you get them, depending on where you at, depending on the players at their table, that'll let you know what to do with the aces. With that said, I'm out. I hope y'all out there doing your thing. If you're playing poker, man, take it serious. You can't make money from it. It's a side hustle. And like I said, I've been playing this for years. But now we have poker rooms, and we've had them for years. But still, for some reason, the one that I play at now is perfect. It's 9-handed. They have food. They have a nice set of tables, right? So, and the staff is great. So I love it. Can't complain about it. The other place I used to play at, loved it for what it was worth, but they sat 10, they were 10 seated always. They always try to make it 10. And I hated 10 seats. I couldn't stand 10 seated hand. But it was the only poker room we could go to in my area. So I played with it and I made money from it. But a lot of times I just think I never stayed focused because it was just so many things about it that I didn't like, right? And when this one came, man, they came with the bells and whistles. We got all the TVs in the building. Like I said, they got tournaments that take place. They got the screens displaying upcoming tournaments, the whole 9. So it looks like when you travel and you go to these poker rooms, like down here in Texas, we got the Lodge, we got Rounders, we got SA Card House, Texas Card House, all these places like that. And I'm in Corpus, so we got a place called Ace One. Love it. Love it. Can't complain. And I'm about to head around there now, get myself on the Poker Atlas app. Go ahead and get myself in there, and then waiting on the wife to come on out, and then we're gonna head up. She's a poker player too, so I got the best of both worlds, baby. I got a lady who I taught how to play this years ago, right when we met, and she loves it. So she doesn't play it as heavy as I do, but she loves playing when she feels like playing, and she's a tough cookie on the table. They see her coming, they know. They give her respect on that table. And when she's not even playing, they come at me and say, hey man, where the wife at? And I sit there and I say, hey, she didn't feel like coming out. I say, you know what? Man, you got it lucky. And I'm not even tooting my horn, but they tell me this, so I appreciate it, right? Another thing, I appreciate the subs. I appreciate the likes. I'm not the best when it comes to understanding how poker really goes or whatever. I can just give it to you from my experience. And, you know, if you want to weigh in on it, you want to give some comments that has some suggestions to it or whatever. When I say what I say, I take it with a grain of salt, right? It doesn't roll off my back. I take it, I listen to it, and I don't get sensitive to it or anything like that. So basically, however it comes, it comes. I'm a grown man just like you are, and I love when comments come in. But like I said, don't be crazy. Don't be rude. That's not be kids or anything and talk blah, blah, blah and all that. I'm not into that lane. I'm just talking about I can handle when somebody gives me something. And if you got something you can teach me, that's great. I've been playing for years, but never too old to learn, right? Never too old to learn. So if somebody got some knowledge that they want to share, some wisdom they want to share about the game, whatever, especially a small game, then hey, I'm all here for it. So with that said, I'm out. Y'all be cool. Stay up.